The Flex Zone Podcast, episode 387, kicking off an enormous, gigantic week here on the channel. We won it, we got it. Tonight, we talk about the Lamar Jackson trade request. We break down the NCAA Final Four. We preview the upcoming 2023 MLB season as baseball is back. And of course, we discuss the granddaddy of them all, Showcase of the Immortals. That's right, Wrestlemania 39 from LA, SoFi Stadium this weekend. And of course, we got those goofies of the week with Cavante. You guys know the drill. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Sound off in the comments down below. Episode 387 closing out the month of March as spring is here and the Flex Zone keeps rolling on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is time for the Flex Zone Podcast, the main event, kicking off your Wrestlemania week the right way. Only place, fellas, give me sports how you want it.
When you need it.
You guys know the drill. If you're in the building, if you're new, subscribe. Hit the thumbs up, helps us out, costs you nothing. Hit that bell to know when all videos drop. We got content coming all week. We were live earlier. We talked about the Lamar Jackson trade. We'll be live all week, videos all week. And, of course, live for Mania this weekend as well. Super chatters, show us some love. Support the channel if you like as well. FlexZone1@gmail.com. FlexZone Podcast on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram at the FlexZone1. God's favorite host here. Let's kick things off with our social media producer as we got a big show tonight. Talking Lamar, talking MLB, NCAA Final Four, and, of course, WrestleMania. We got Ralph coming on. But first and foremost, it's the man himself, the social media producer, our boy, Big Raj. He may be getting the belt.
Finish him, Daddy.
Oh, I definitely want to finish this. If I could right now get both of these people in a room, Steve Bisciotti and Lamar Jackson, oh, it would be finished. But your boy Big Raj is here, still running hot from earlier. I mean, whatchamacallit said I sounded like Uncle Ruckus down there, but it is. I'm not really happy about this situation. I'm still angry, and we're gonna get into it a little bit later.
Is it too early for this? This is for you and Cavante.
Come on now, say it with me. Everybody beats the Wiz.
Because
they're pretty much, you can put a fork in them. You can put a fork in them.
You can go to hell, Byron. And they've been trash for the last month the last couple months. They've been trash.
Okay. Just a couple months.
Shut up, Dre. I'm not for it today. I'm not for this nonsense today.
Next man is the captain. He is the captain of the goofy ship. He is the Commandalorian. He is the voice of reason. He is my brother, the commander himself. And you know we bring him in only one way to bring in the commander.
Those haters can't stand us. Left hand up. Commanders. We fight for RDC. Who are we? The Commanders.
Cavante, we got a show to do, brother. Where you at?
Come back.
Oh, and I got this for you.
Of course.
Come back.
Here.
I want to go get a drink.
Goofy, want you, brother? Come on. The people want to see you, Cavante. They want to know how you're feeling. Dan Snyder's off the hook. They're not even talking about him at the owners' meeting.
Man, listen, brother, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm still very much optimistic. I hear that the sale is not going to happen this week, so I figure it's going to happen at some point in April. That Commander song is still very much goofy. I don't think, Mark, don't entertain. Mark, stop. It's very, very, very goofy. But we here. Monday nights, you already know what it is. We do have a lot to talk about, and Rod is not going to be a happy camper as he's been going off in the chat the entire day. And let's just say I couldn't wait for tonight to come.
Next man, he is a man of 1,000 t-shirts. He is a professor of Balls Hall University. He is Mr. Morgan State University, the super producer, Pride of the Eastside Savior Misbehavior. And sometimes he does a little DJing. I got him for you, brother. Is that what you wanted to hear?
Of course, man. There's nothing like them air horns.
You get a couple bombs, too. You get a couple of these. Well.
Hey, man, appreciate you as always, big dog. It's Wrestlemania season. It's like, as we all like to call it, this is the best time in sports. You got Wrestlemania, you got March Madness, NBA playoffs, start of Major League Baseball, hockey. You get a little bit of everything. So I'm excited, especially for today's episode.
Yes, our guest is in the building. She is ready to come up as we save the best for last, as we are celebrating Women's History Month throughout the entire March of our sports and women's series. This next queen that is joining us here on the Flex On podcast, first time, hopefully not her last. She is the owner of Sporty Dog. She is an entrepreneur. She is a fellow Morganite, fellas, and she is doing big things. And she is a sports junkie. She's here to talk about it all. What a day to decide to join us as Lamar requested his trade. Joining us here on the Flex On podcast, everybody, give it up for the one, the only, LaShauna Jones. What's going on, LaShauna? How you feeling?
I'm doing great, fellas. How are you all? I mean, if you're Ravens fans, I know you're probably in a mood position right now, but you know, we all living in above ground, so can't complain.
You said it yourself, LaShauna. For those who don't know, let them know you're an entrepreneur. You're doing big things out here. Let the people know before we get into the sports talk how they can keep up with you, what you got going on, and about your entrepreneurial endeavors.
Well, you know, as an entrepreneur, you're always got your hands dirty in something, right? So right now it's Sporty Dog Creations. My hands is full of just growing that operation. So Sporty Dog Creations is a gourmet hot dog restaurant that we recently opened in downtown Baltimore. And so we make our hot dogs from scratch. And the concept behind Sporty Dog is to sport your dog, basically. So, you know, you can kind of top your hot dog to your personal taste. We also have hot dogs that are coined after our local sports team. So we have our Ravens dog, we have our Old Dog, which is coined after the Orioles, and then we have the Baltimore Black Sox dog, which is, of course, as if you're a fan of Baltimore, you know, it's named after the old Negro League, the Baltimore Black Sox.
Well, make sure y'all follow her. You see the socials on the screen. We're going to get straight into it. Are you a Ravens fan, Ms. Jones?
I'm a Baltimore fan. So Baltimore.
All right. So look, no filter. We want it. The direct way is if you were just sitting around the crib. How are you feeling today after you hear this trade of Lamar Jackson? The floor is yours.
Look, my heart is heavy because I don't want to see the guy leave. You know, I mean, I feel like we got the right person. He's gritty. He speaks Baltimore to me and to most of the fans. But, you know, I don't think we've given him the opportunity that we truly need to give him as quarterback to reach his full potential. He's been scrapping it, you know, in the pocket, making things happen. And he's been doing phenomenal with that. So, you know, I'm hearing that he's asked for a trade earlier this month. This hasn't happened recently. Like earlier this month, meaning that he already was trying to part ways. You know, it doesn't look good for us Ravens fans who like to keep Lamar here in Baltimore. So I don't know. I'm upset about it. I don't even know. I mean, it's not like we got quarterbacks hanging around here off of trees. Like, I don't know why we're not working with this guy to try to keep him. So it's super frustrating, I'm sure, to Lamar for one. And you know, I also feel like Lamar, he knows what he wants. Like, he knows he's a valuable quarterback, and that's why he's standing on his 2 feet asking for what he's asking for. And I don't think that should be a problem. I think these the Ravens should be meeting him halfway.
Well, Big Sis, do you think that he actually will get traded, or do you think he stays?
I think he'll get traded. I really believe he'll get traded at this point. I mean, look at the length of time that has passed, and nothing's been looking good for him. I mean, to me, it looks like a trade is the only out for him. I mean, he may stay, but he ain't getting on the field. If he stay for that 32 mil, Lamar's not playing. He's not going to play. He's not going to hit that field. He's going to.
You think he's really going to sit out like Le'Veon Bell did?
I think that's his protest. That's going to be his protest. I mean, think about it. It's not that many black quarterbacks in the league as it is. We feel like we always get, the bottom of the barrel. And the only way we ever can make a breakthrough is to protest. And unfortunately, that is what Lamar is actually doing. He's protesting. He's a game changer, and you can see it. I mean, first of all, you can see it in his style of play, but now you see it as he's trying to, negotiate his own contract. He's a game changer. Who does that? You know what I mean? And so you got to give that man his props for what he's doing. He's changing the game. Like, NFL, I've never heard so much about NFL contracts in my life, except for the past 3 months that Lamar has been protesting about his contract. And, for fans, I think that it's an educational moment. I mean, for everybody, it's an educational moment, even for himself. So, even if he stayed, I think he's going to leave. I think the trade is going to go through, but if he stays, he ain't hitting the field. Nah, he's protesting.
Yeah, well, I don't know, because Le'Veon Bell, that didn't work out for him, and he basically got the same type of contract he was seeking. Well, that the Steelers had offered him with the Jets. So, I don't know if it'll really work out. We're hoping,
But yeah, that's true. He did, but but not in the same fashion that Lamar is going at it. Like, Lamar is truly protesting. And you can just tell in everything that he's been doing so far since the end of the season.
So, my question is, since you think he's getting traded, do you think the next team that he gets with will give him the contract that he wants, or do you think they'll just give him maybe less than what he wants and they'll just accept it?
Yeah, I think they're just gonna he's gonna get less than what he's at. But here's the thing: we don't even know what the man's asking for. We really don't. So it's really crazy because we don't even know what's too much and what's too much for him as a player. I mean, again, he knows his own value. So nobody knows what he's really asking for. It's probably not that much. Every time somebody from the NFL or the league comes out and says something, he throws out lies. You know what I mean? So it's like, who can you really believe in this situation? It's a really tough situation. But at the end of the day, Lamar knows what he wants. And if there's a franchise out there that wants him, they got to meet him halfway, period.
Do you think the Ravens are justified in not giving him a fully guaranteed contract? Because, one, he hasn't been healthy the last 2 years, and it would pretty much mean that now all owners have to opening that proverbial Pandora's box situation. And do you think that he's made some unwise decisions without some representation? Not saying he needs an agent, but maybe some of the choices that he's made.
I think everybody's watching to see what's going to happen with this Lamar situation, because it's a very touchy situation for the NFL as well. Like, they don't want to guarantee that amount of money, which has happened twice in the past 5 years already for quarterbacks. But again, I mean, it's happened. And so to me, if it's happened, there's a precedent, period. So why can't Lamar go after what he needs to go after, that he thinks is fully for him valuable, and he's bringing a certain value to the team that he can't get what he's asking for? I mean, and even if he doesn't get what he's asking for, something commiserable. I mean, he even threw out a tweet like, they just throwing anything on the wall. So to me, I feel like they really lowballing him. And that's the reason why he's not accepting what's been thrown out there. But again, we don't know. So I think it would be, I don't think it would set a precedent, because I think what needs to happen with the NFL, especially with quarterbacks, right? You're paying for a certain talent. You're paying for the brain of the team, basically. It's different than other players. And I think that there's a market should be set just for quarterbacks. That can be applied across the league. And this is why I'm saying this is a game-changing situation, because Lamar, I believe, is going to set the tone for that with what he's asking and how he's protesting and what he's asking for as a valuable quarterback.
Now, what is it that you believe when we're coming to these negotiations? Because, like you said, we don't really know. We hear so many reports out there about Lamar wants a fully guaranteed contract, that we hear he doesn't want a fully guaranteed contract. We're hearing that the Ravens are offering him that $200 million, but then there are reports saying that it's under at like 175. What do you believe, and what do you believe Lamar and the Ravens should negotiate with?
This is a very interesting question, because my background is human resources, right? Yeah. So I basically, I when it comes to like classifying jobs, that's what I do for a living for 20 years. So, and I'm going to apply the same concept when it comes to this. Again, when you have a quarterback, that's only one position on that team that is a quarterback. That rate of pay is going to be much higher, right, than any other position on the team. We know that he's going to get injured. He's a quarterback. Everybody's gunning for the quarterback on the field, So, when people say stuff like, oh, he's been injured, and okay, he's a quarterback. Like, the quarterback, that goes through, more than 2 seasons that's not injured. So, all of those things come into play with this. So I feel like, again, because of his position, because of his experience, because he's held an MVP, because he was, a high-ranking position coming off of the draft. I mean, all of these things come into play, and he's performed. We've been in the playoffs all 3 years since. Is it 3 years that he's been? Yeah, we've made it to the playoffs.
It's four out of five.
4 out of 5.
4 to 5. So, I mean, like, why wouldn't you want to pay him? I feel like all of these things should come into play and be discussed. And of course, it's still negotiations at the end of the day that needs to be made. There's still concessions that needs to be made, but I still believe that at that plateau, there should be a benchmarked price for quarterbacks. And I feel like I do feel like those contracts should be guaranteed for all quarterbacks, period.
Well, speaking of negotiations, I do want to ask you about the Baltimore Orioles, because you say you are Baltimore.
I'm a Baltimore fan.
And there's talks about the Baltimore Orioles leaving. So how would you feel if the Orioles did leave?
That's tough. I mean, we have the Orioles for over 100 years. Like,
I feel like I
can't even think of us not having the Orioles.
The way this thing going with the Ravens, you might not have them either. If it keeps going the way it's going,
so it's like, I mean, like I have no clue what the issue is with Baltimore right now. In negotiating in fair negotiations when it comes to keeping, our sports teams here. I mean, you see how drastic it was when the Colts left. Like, and we didn't get a football team until almost 20 years, after. I mean, like, yeah, we the Orioles leaving is just like incomprehensible to me. So I can't even think about that. I can't even think about that. What will we have next? The Blackbirds? We got a bunch of Blackbirds in Baltimore. I don't know. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it is hard. It is hard to believe the Baltimore without the Orioles.
Yeah, I mean any other team, but I can't see the Orioles ever leaving Baltimore. Like that's crazy to me.
My thing is this. With the Orioles, they had a really good season last year. I'm not sure really what to expect going into this season. They could continue to, ascend and being a really good team again, or they can take a couple steps back. What are your thoughts on the upcoming season this year? Do you think we're going to have a really good season, or do you think this team might be a little bit better, but maybe take a couple steps back?
Well, see, that's what I find so kind of strange, because it seemed like we were recovering from last season, and to hear about them leaving this season, like that's just, I feel like we were in that whole transition where we're like, trying to bring the Orioles back to where they were, but yeah, no, I mean, we were at a stalemate with them, I think, with the coaching staff that we have on the Orioles for the past few years. And so with that changing in leadership and stuff like that, yeah, I think we were kind of like transitioning and making some strides. And yeah, I can't even think about the Orioles leaving. Like, that's beyond me. That's a bit of a stretch. Yeah, I would say Lamar would need to leave before the Orioles leave.
I don't know. Byron, you got anything?
I just want to ask you real quick, is South Carolina ever going to lose? They just dominated Maryland today. It wasn't even fair, man. All them girls 7 feet tall, man. It's like a bunch of grown women playing against little kids, man. It ain't even fair, man.
So wait a minute. So who won that game? Because I know they were just
South Carolina beat them like
a drum.
Yeah, beat them like a drum. Yeah, they got a bunch of set. All the girls are like 6'7" and taller. It's just. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they coming from them cornfields out there in Midwest.
Yes. It's slow.
So I haven't been looking at much of the women at NCAA, but I know there's some. So who's the last one? If South Carolina, then
they got to play Iowa, and then it's going to be, what is that? LSU with Angel Reese, who's from here and who transferred from Maryland, and I guess the winner of Ohio State, Virginia Tech. I didn't see the score, but those 2 teams will play. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I haven't been watching much of the women's team, but I have been paying close attention to the men's team, which, whew.
Do you have a favorite? I mean, it's been an unpredictable season.
It has been very. So what's crazy about this March Madness? Like, I've always been into the Cinderella teams, right? But they've never really made it, all the way. And this year we have a chance for maybe one Cinderella team to possibly make it. So let's see. Out of the Cinderella teams that's out there, I don't know.
They're all kind of Cinderellas at this point.
Yeah, but I say they feel like it. Except maybe like UConn, that might be the only one I might be like, yeah, I don't know. But the rest of them,
I'm not seeing UConn make it though. I'm seeing one of the Cinderella teams make it. Yeah.
It's weird. It's a weird time.
What's the favorite for you, Dre? What's the favorite for you for coming out of
it was Duke for him, and they were done already the first weekend. We kicked them out. We already knew it was gonna happen.
Whatever.
Yeah, he's a Dookie. I like Duke too, but
he's a Dookie.
No, he loves Duke. He doesn't like Duke. He loves
love Duke. I believed in Coach K for years, the great Coach K, but right now we're in a transitional period, but we're gonna make it back. Coach K, his legacy lives on, and we're gonna honor him and bring him that long awaited championship.
Okay,
in honor of him.
Keep hope alive.
Hopefully, Maryland gets one before Duke, but
whatever.
That's a hope and a prayer.
So, but out of the Cinderella teams, though, what do you guys think?
Like I said, I mean, at this point, I kind of thought UConn might be making some noise. I didn't figure Houston would really make it that far. I know Houston was a favorite, but I just didn't. For some reason, when like you have like a number one team in like March Madness, they just never really pan out like that. So I guess that would be my pick right now.
Is it Houston?
Yeah, I'm not. Even though I don't really want to pick UConn, but that's the one I would roll with.
Oh, UConn, you rolling with UConn? Well, they're still blue, so that's close.
I ain't
close to your Dookies.
I'm rolling with the Huskies too. I think they're going to make it. and I'm picking Florida Atlantic to get to the final. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see. This is kind of like really weird. I mean, because I thought Alabama was going to take it, and they just
nope.
They flopped.
They got.
I was surprised. Yeah, I was surprised about how they got flopped bad too.
Well, before we get you out of here, LaShauna, real quick, what's next for you, and how can the people keep up with you? And again, what are you the owner of, and how they can find you and support the business? And if you ever need some sponsors, some people to come out and test those sporty dogs, the Flex Zone is here for you.
Yeah, I've been trying to get Dre out for a minute. Like, he's supposed to become, on Meatless Mondays and get his vegan dog. But I don't know.
She's saying I'm greedy because I always ask her for a pack of hot dogs and not just one.
Yeah, exactly. Like, come sit down and have one with me. Let's see what's next for us. So basically, we are in the middle of doing some renovations. So just concentrating on focusing on getting some renovations going and trying to move into wholesales a little bit, so that Dre can get his packs a little bit more easily. So that's what's next for us. Again, my name's LaShauna Jones, and you can find us downtown on Charles Street at 333 North Charles Street. That's where we are. We're on the side of the building. A lot of people like to come to the front, but there's a museum in the front, and they start calling like, complaining. I came all the way downtown. I don't like coming downtown. You know how Baltimore people are. So anyway, parking's hard. So we're on the side of the building, on Pleasant Street, and you can find us there. We're open Wednesday through Sundays. Come grab one of these phenomenal hot dogs. We make them from scratch. We use local meat. So we know what's in your hot dogs. You know what's in your hot dogs. And we also and from there you can find me on social media at The Sporty Dog. I'm on Twitter and Instagram, and on Twitter is sporty_dog, and then on Facebook we're on at Sporty Dog Creations. And look, we're looking to do a podcast eventually about hot dogs and sport. Yeah. That's an all-time favorite food. So hot dogs. And we just want to tie a little sport aspect into it, so maybe we can kind of collaborate in the future and do some things together.
Oh, definitely, big sis. Appreciate you.
Once again,
appreciate
everybody.
you. Follow Morgan Knight.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yes. Follow her.
From Baltimore with love, y'all. Thank you.
Yes, we'll have you come back after the situation plays out, but give it up one more time for LaShauna, everybody.
Appreciate you, big sis. I'll see you soon.
You. Let's get Cravante back up in here as we get ready for our next guest, as the guests keep rolling in and Cravante's out. But let's keep it rolling. He's been waiting patiently. He's from one interview to the next. We know he's got the odds. He's got the news. He actually said last time he was up here, he could see Lamar getting traded. You know him. You love him. He's a day oneer. Let's bring him up. Rafael Esparaza. He's the man with the plan. And if you want to win some money, he's a man you need to listen to. He's back in the Flex Zone Palace Show. What's going on?
What's going on, fellas?
My God.
What's going on? Now I got taste for a hot dog.
I know, right?
Yes. Busy week for you, Ralph. I know you heard the name, the news today, excuse me, Lamar Jackson. You said last time you were up here you could see him probably getting traded potentially. What do you think?
I think I don't want to say his feelings are hurt. I just think the situation that he feels is hurt. Not that he doesn't like Baltimore. He doesn't like that. I just think he feels disrespected right now. So I think that's why March 2nd he said he wanted to trade it. And I think at the same time he's trying to play his cards. He wants to see, okay, what teams really do want me. If I come out and say, hey, you know what? I asked for a trade on March 2nd. The same day that his head coach was talking at the owners meeting. I mean, it's all planned. If you don't think this was all planned, then I got some snow that I bought from Alaska to sell for you. But I just think it's all planned. I mean, we've already heard that the Colts are maybe even going to start seeing if maybe they want to trade. I think there's only 2, maybe 3 teams that would maybe think about it, and it's the Colts, Patriots, and Falcons. Those are only 3 teams that I think that could happen if Lamar goes anywhere. But at the same time, I'm sorry, Lamar. I'm a big fan of yours. I like it, but you need to look at yourself in the mirror and say you don't have an agent is the reason why you're sitting here. I'm sorry. If he had an agent, he would have been signed already. I don't know if he would have got the 200 million. He would maybe got 190 or whatever. But if he had an agent, his agent would have told him, "Hey, these are teams that are interested in you." Right? He would have known at the end of the last year that what teams were interested in. But since he doesn't have an agent, I deal with this. I deal with agents all the time, and so they tell me who you can talk to, what you can't talk to, what you can't say. You have to go to my representatives if you want this, that. I think no agent, I think, is probably his biggest Achilles heel than asking for that fully contract money.
Hey,
Now,
Ralph.
go ahead, Ralph.
Before you, Ralph, how did you feel when John Harbaugh had to take the podium when the tweet came out? I mean, I know that was very good timing by Lamar, but I felt bad for Harbaugh at that point.
That's why I think that it's all about feelings. Do I think he hates Harbaugh? No. I mean, it's all business. Everyone knows it's all a business right now. He's playing the cards that he has in his hands, and he's right now he's trying to bluff to see who's going to maybe go all in and try to accept that big pot right now. So I do feel bad for Harbaugh, but I think both sides at the end of the day they know it's a business.
Do you think that the relationship can be reconciled? Or do you think Lamar has to go? As
Luka did the other day in the Mavericks, you can forgive people when it comes to coin. So yeah, if the Ravens came back and say, hey, you know what, if they agree with this number, I still think the Ravens are the favorite for him to play his next football game. I will still put the Ravens as the favorites because I just don't think I think they're gonna match anybody's money unless they do officially trade him. And I'm hearing it's not for 2 number ones. It's going to be more than just 2 number ones. So what team is actually going to give up 2 number ones for, let's face it, to a guy that can be on a breakaway heading into the end zone and it gets tackled from behind and then he could be out for a while.
Now, do you said him not having an agent, you think it's hurting him. Do you think that maybe this first contract he should have gotten an agent and then maybe a second contract negotiated by himself? Or how do you think that Lamar should have played this horror deal?
I can't answer that one because I don't know all the ins and outs of what an agent can do and can't do. It's just so weird to hear someone in that stature, someone of that name, that brand, that doesn't have some. I mean, you would think LeBron will call him and say, hey, bro, this is how things get done. And you would think these guys that have a great representatives that give them a lot of coin, not just playing the sports, but TVs and movies and shoes and stuff like that. You would think someone would pull him aside and say, hey, you know what? Here's my representative. Look, I'm making movies. I got deals, this. You can make more money than getting hurt playing the sport you love. I'm just a little bit shocked that someone hasn't really pulled him aside and said, hey, you know what? This one needs to be done because there's a lot of people that could making more money playing the sport and doing other words.
Cool. Kavante, you with us?
You want to hop in there? You back?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, right. Man, I wanted to hop in when our last interviewer was talking about the hot dogs. I was like, hey Dre, what's up, baby? Why we ain't gotta get no hot dogs? But I know you a little bougie, so I understand. But Ralph, what's up, man? Hey,
what's going on?
Best odds for Lamar Jackson is still with the Ravens. I was my connection was kind of messed up, so I couldn't hear what you was saying about the odd factor. The odd.
If he doesn't go back to Baltimore, the odds are the Colts at 3-1, the Falcons plus 550, the Lions plus 550, the Washington 8-1, and New England 8-1, and then everyone else like Tampa Bay's 9-1, the San Francisco, Tennessee, all those other teams don't really mean anything. Like I said, I think I only see 3 teams that I think that I can see him put that jersey on. That's Colts, Falcons, and New England.
I'm surprised you said the Lions. I wouldn't have thought about the Lions being there.
Well, the Lions came out early and said, hey, you know what, we're looking for a quarterback just in case, but I just don't see it this year. That's why I think there's a lot of teams. That's why I think, again, Lamar is kind of he's limited cards right now. A lot, even your guys is Washington, your guys' backyard. I still can't believe they say, hey, they're not interested. We're gonna go with the people we have right now. But I just think a lot of people are scared of that money that he wants. When that's like people ask me, but it's Lamar, he's an MVP. Okay, but would I give $100 million to Tua, knowing what everything he went to back last year? No, I wouldn't give $50 million to Tua, knowing to what he dealt with last year. No disrespect to Tua, not saying he's a bad quarterback or a bad player, but it's not like that's like, am I going to give $400 million to Kawhi Leonard when I know he's only going to play every other third day? No, I'm not going to give this. Your track record, what you do on the court or on the field, has to go on what you're going to pay somebody.
Definitely.
Bro,
definitely.
Go ahead, Russ. Go ahead, Russ.
No, go ahead.
I just wanted to kind of get your thoughts on the Final Four. Nobody could have predicted this Final Four. What are the odds saying? I guess UConn's the favorite.
Yeah, UConn's a favorite. First of all, I feel disrespected because not one of you guys said San Diego State, not one of you guys gave West Coast love. We can all agree
East Coast bias, Ralph. East Coast bias. Ralph.
We can all agree that defense wins championships in any sport, football, NBA, any sport, and the best defense that's still playing right now is San Diego State, who guards the three like there's no tomorrow. And what is FAU's bread and butter? The three ball. So if San Diego State guards them, I can see an ugly bath. The public wants Connecticut and San Diego State, let's face it, be East Coast versus West Coast. I think Connecticut is the all-around better team that's still left in the Final Four. But if they get cold and San Diego State plays that ugly 54-52 type of game we saw, then I would not be shocked if they cut down the nuts.
Are you surprised at the Final Four that has taken place this year?
No, because this is all about NIL. And we're going to see this in college football now that they're adding teams, and pretty soon we're going to see 12 teams in college football. And now we're going to see more playoff games, and now we're going to see San Diego State versus Boise State in a national championship in college football because Alabama had to play 2 extra playoff games and their quarterback got hurt, or Georgia's defense got hurt, and now they're losing to teams who have unhealthy because there's more teams in playoffs. This is all about NIL. When was the last time we talked about a one and done? Like, besides Zion. I mean, the NIL actually hurt the one and dones. We don't see any of them in the Final Fours. We didn't see any of the blue bloods in the Final Fours. We're going to see this a lot now in college basketball and college sports. Look at North Carolina just lost their point guard today, who's going into the transfer portal. NIL and transfer portal is going to kill college basketball and college. I shouldn't say kill it. It's going to make it more interesting. You're going to see teams that we never thought cut down the nets or host a trophy in college football.
It's almost like trading to a certain
extent. Yeah. But it's opened up a lot of doors.
Free agency. Too. It's free agency. That's what it is.
All right. So I want to ask about the women's side.
Like everyone's playing for second place.
South Carolina and then just everybody else in second place.
Everyone's playing for second.
They're like Roman Reigns, Ralph. They're running through everybody.
Well, it's going to be a bad Saturday and Sunday for the one family, but not for South Carolina. I think the only team that might, and that's might give them trouble. It could be Virginia Tech. But I don't see LSU. They beat LSU by double digits already. South Carolina has ladies 6'6" and above. Seems everywhere. They get taller coming out of halftime. I mean, I just don't. I haven't seen a dominant team since back in the day with UConn and Tennessee going back and forth.
Should we get to the main event? Should we get to
Go ahead, Ralph.
The main event is the Baltimore Orioles are staying put. They're not going anywhere. That's the main event. So you guys can stop worrying. John Angelos is not going to move it. The mayor, was it Brandon Scott or something?
We call him Tate.
Man, Goofy.
We call him Tate here.
Yeah,
well, that's not the...
They're not going to move it. There's only one team that's moving in baseball, and that's the Oakland A's.
They're going to Vegas, Ralph. They're going to Vegas.
They're probably going to go to Vegas. I think the hiccup on that, they just don't know where they're putting them in Vegas. They want to either. There's 2 places. They want to go right across the street, which over at MGM, which is horrible. because I was there over the weekend and I had to get out of a fight after Final Four and a T Swift concert, all getting out at the same time. It was not fun at all. But I would rather have them put it by the Rio across from the strip, so kind of congester all that. But there's only one team that's leaving baseball, going somewhere. That's the Oakland going to Vegas. Now, if Baltimore went to Montreal and they wore those great kick-ass Expos hats and jerseys, and I'm sorry, Baltimore Orioles, because those Expos jerseys are much better than the orange jerseys.
What is going on with Oakland? Because you had the Raiders leave, and now you're talking about the A's leaving. What do you think is going on with Oakland right now in their sports?
Have you ever seen real estate prices there?
No.
Yeah, it's high.
It's the reason why Golden State and the Lakers have one of the highest concession prices, Dodgers, stuff like that, because it's so expensive to keep. You need a full house just to try to even break even. Moneyball doesn't make checkbooks go any high. If you're not having people in there eating and buying stuff, it doesn't matter what your record is. And what's on the field is what people are spending when they go to the games, what actually pays the salaries and stuff like that. Yeah, you got TV contracts, but people don't understand concession sales and T-shirt sales and playoffs. When you make playoffs and extra games and stuff like that, All-Star games, that all adds up.
Go ahead, Raj.
All right. Now, the main event wasn't the Baltimore Orioles. The main event was WrestleMania coming up.
Yes.
I want to know, what are the odds of Cody winning versus Roman Reigns? I know it's probably changed a million times.
Not really. It's been all Cody Rhodes. We all know that Roman's taken some extended time off. We won't see him until SummerSlam. Probably fighting one of his Uso brothers. That's what I'm hearing on that one. So it would not shock me if that's the case. And if you're WWE, you need Cody Rhodes to win this match, because now you have a lot of people over in AEW in the locker room that are very upset on where they're positioned at. And if so, you're trying to say, okay, they took a guy over at AEW, went back over to WWE, and now he's the heavyweight champion. So it's kind of two birds kill one stone. There were a lot of people trying to come back there because they thought the grass was greener on one side. So I think it's both ways. Roman Reigns will lose, take some time off. I heard he's got I don't know if he's got TVs or movies, but he's got a lot of stuff on his plate. So he'll take a couple months off. We'll see him at SummerSlam.
Now, we do keep hearing about him coming back at SummerSlam. That I've heard about Survivor Series. Why do you think that they're pulling the trigger when he's so close to being at 1,000 days?
I don't know. I just think the timing. I mean, if you're going to pull over Cody Rhodes, you need to pull over now, because he has a lot of his stock is high coming off wrestling after a torn whatever muscle he was. I mean, just to continue to wrestle that and then come back. I mean, his stock is high right now. Roman Reigns can drop the belt and come back, and his stock will probably still be the same. And then when he dropped it, unless, like I said, they have great storylines to bring him back, to bring his stock back up. It's not like he's going to fight Guntur or Dominic Mysterio at SummerSlam. His stock is going to be high when he comes back. So I think it's the perfect timing. And I just think, it's 1,000 days. But when you're looking at that, when you become champion day one, you're not looking at, okay, if it's 1,000 days, is it past WrestleMania or is it before WrestleMania? I just think it's the timing.
Does Gunther lose the belt?
They were going back and forth. You know who was supposed to wrestle Gunther in this match?
Who?
Rhea Ripley was supposed to wrestle. Rhea Ripley wants to be the next China. You could tell that they're kind of pushing her. She wanted to wrestle for the belt and all that, but they said, "Hey, you know what? We'll let you beat Charlotte. You can have that belt." I don't see Gunther losing it, because let's face it, this guy was close to 300 pounds. Seems like a year ago, and what his dedication in the gym to fully engaged in a WWE schedule and to what his body looks right now. I think they keep the belt. And I know Drew McIntyre is suffering from a back injury right now, so he ain't going to win it, because he's probably going to take some time off.
What is Solo just lost tonight? What do you think his stock is having his first loss?
His stock is going to be high, because the Usos are probably going to lose their belts on WrestleMania to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, because I know one of the Usos, I think, has to have just a quick arthroscopic knee surgery, so he's probably going to be gone. So that means Solo is going to be the only one only one representing the ones out there for a while. So dropping it right now, he's got some nice storylines. I think he could be the one that maybe beats Gunther for the the IC championship.
No,
that would be good.
Now we debating this in the back. Like, what is going on with Bray Wyatt? Like
he's really sick. I heard it was I heard two things. One, I thought it was something to do with his blood, like white blood cell count and something like that was really, really low. What I understood, I guess he came down with the flu, and they thought it was COVID, and it wasn't. They were checking, they did whole blood work, and then it came back to his white blood cell count. So he was really, really, really sick, and I heard he lost a lot of weight when he was ill. So I think that's why they're just slowly slowly letting him come back, because they were really happy with him. Coming back and stuff like that. I guess he was really good in the back with all the young people and the direction that he was doing with the characters and all that. They were really high on him. And that's why I think I heard from an interview, the only person that was really sad about it was Bobby Lashley. He says, we've had some really good time in the back trying to prepare for our match. They were gelling really well. They were both excited for that match. I feel bad for Bobby Lashley.
Bro, what are the odds on returns? We heard Randy Orton. I think Big E makes an appearance. I think we get possibly Alexa Bliss returning Monday
Alexa
night
Bliss,
after
no.
Raw. No,
Alexa.
No, she just had surgery. She had skin cancer on her face, and she doesn't want to come off the scar and stuff like that. I think she still has stitches on her face, so she won't return. But I'm hearing Randy Orton. Could possibly, I heard Big E, stuff like that. I think Big E might take a step backwards now that Kofi Kingston probably not going to be on there. I think they kind of wanted all three to kind of be in there and stuff like that. I'm not hearing Kofi is going to be in there because I think he just had ankle surgery or something to do with his ankle. So I don't think he will be there. But Randy Orton, and we could see some surprises. Something I'm hearing some free agent wrestler can make an appearance at WrestleMania, so it should be interesting. And then I have over under title changes 4.5. You can bet the
now. There's also rumors about the belt changing as well.
Yes.
So is it going to be just one? Because they came out with a model for Cody's new belt, and now is it going to be just one belt? Are they splitting the belts up, or what's going to happen with that moving forward?
I heard they're mixed back there. I think if they keep it 2, then I think Vince McMahon still has a lot of power back there. If they go to 1, because Triple H and Stephanie always just wanted 1. They didn't want, a red brand and a blue brand vote. They're like, hey, if you're a champion, you need to work both shows. And I totally agree with that. If you're the champion, you need to work both shows. Maybe not wrestle at both shows, but make an appearance at both shows. And stuff like that. That's what Stephanie and Triple H wanted. I think we'll find out with Cody and how they deal with him if he wins it. Who has the big pull back there?
Now, well, let me follow up and ask you, why do you like one belt as opposed to 2 belts for the separate brands?
Because all the cuts that they made, it's still a small roster that they have. As they don't have a big roster, even though they're bringing up a lot of people, but they're actually still cutting a lot of people from NXT. That's why Johnny Gargano is on NXT this pay-per-view and stuff like that. So it's still kind of a small roster. And I think they learned with such a big roster before all the cuts that, 2 belts was good. Okay, what was back then. But if you're still limiting roster, because I also heard there's going to be some cuts after WrestleMania.
And my follow-up to that would be just saying that they have with the limited roster, do you think that WrestleMania still needs to be 2 nights, or they need to switch it back to just 1 night?
The last 2 ratings they got for 2 nights, they're keeping it for 2 nights. I mean, the ratings.
Do it again, Ralph. What did Luca do?
Yeah, it's more options to sell T-shirts, more options for they're keeping. If they can make it 3 nights, they would do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or maybe like on an extended holiday, like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, like a Martin Luther King Day or like Independence Day or Memorial Day or Labor Day Monday and stuff like that. If they can do 3 nights, they would do 3 nights.
I feel like it's already 4 nights because they got Friday, they got Saturday, and they got Monday before the night after WrestleMania. My question is, does Braun Breaker come up on Monday night?
Yes, he comes up on Monday because he'll lose a belt on Saturday.
Okay, that's good.
Real quick before we get you out of here, Ralph, what are your MLB odds? Who wins the World Series? Who do you like? I know I see your Wrigley Field sign behind you. The Cubs.
Cubs are making the playoffs this year. I'm telling you that right now.
There you go.
Do the Orioles make the playoffs?
No, but their total season wins is 76.5, and I like
Take
them
the over.
over. I like
That's
them
right,
over.
bro.
I
That's
like
right.
them over. I'm not saying because you guys are on the air and stuff like, because you guys know me, I'll bash your team no matter no matter who you guys are, but stuff like that. But they do like it. You know what? I would love to see the Angels make a big run and Trout to make the playoffs because I want to see Ohtani stay in LA. Not because I get to see him a lot. I don't want to see him in a Mets uniform or a Yankees uniform. I'd love to see him in a Cubs uniform. No, the Yankees kind of screwed themselves signing. I thought they should have let Judge go and traded for Ohtani because you killed two birds with one stone. You have a pitcher and a right fielder all in one. So I think the Yankees won't sit there for them. But I would think right now, I'm going to say West Coast love. I like the San Diego. If they stay healthy, give me the San Diego Padres because they're going to trade for another pitcher during the trade deadline. If Soto's healthy, Machado's healthy, that lineup they have, I'm going to say San Diego. I'm going to say the Yankees take a small step backwards. I like the Blue Jays in that division right now because let's see, they had all this love in the summer. Judge coming back, captain. He's probably going to pull an oblique or a hangnail. He's not going to play a full thing. So, and it's just Stanton won't play a full season, stuff like that. So I think the Yankees take a small step backwards. So I like the Blue Jays coming out of that division.
You don't think that the Yankees could sign Ohtani?
No, not with that Judge, not with that payroll they had to pay for Judge. No.
Shut up.
I mean,
the old Steinbrenner, yes.
Oh yeah. I wish we did have him. That to me was the greatest owner in all of sports.
Yeah, he would sign to Ohtani. He would have had Ohtani already with him.
He signed Lamar Jackson right now too.
Yes, he was signing Lamar Jackson too. He would give him a full contract.
Bro, how can they keep up with you?
Where can't you? But you can follow me on Twitter at VSI.sports. You can find me on Instagram at Rafael Esparaza. You can find all my crazy odds over at my new website. You can bet that. It has all the crazy stuff that I do on there. I have some great movie odds right now. You can bet the Air movie, how much it's going to make over the weekend and its total Rotten Tomato score, which I've already seen it. It's fantastic.
Oh, I'm catching that Tuesday.
Yeah,
I'm glad you said that.
It's great if you like. It's the new version of Jerry Maguire. That's all I'll say about it. But it's really, really, really good. I'm not the biggest fan of those Ben Affleck and all them, but hats off to him. It was a great movie.
I heard Chris Tucker did a good job.
Yes. Chris Tucker was hilarious in it. A hidden gem. I didn't know he was in it until he popped in the movie. I'm like, Chris Tucker's in this? He still works. I'm like, I thought I was watching Rush Hour 5.
So I did hear that there would be a Rush Hour 4. So
I heard that too. Oh,
yeah, it's been 10 years and they've been saying the same thing, but we'll see.
Ralph,
they're coming out with another Bad Boys right now, so we'll see.
Yeah. Will Smith needs to get paid, and no one else likes him.
One more time, everybody, give it up for Ralph. Make sure you keep up with him. Ralph, appreciate it. Enjoy WrestleMania and enjoy opening day.
Take it easy, guys. And don't get rid of the old Lamar jerseys. I think you'll still be wearing them next year.
I'm keeping mine.
I got on a Lamar shirt.
Hey, and we're going to have you back on before the draft. So looking forward to having you back on next
we'll
month.
have to talk about who's going to be Mr. Irrelevant. That Mr. Irrelevant next year can win MVP. We don't know.
It could be Stetson Bennett. It could be Stetson Bennett.
Oh, he doesn't get drafted.
You never know.
Take it easy, guys.
Thanks, Ralph.
You too, man.
All right, catch you later, man.
Big up to Ralph.
Yes.
Let's get into this talk. Cavante, you back with us, brother?
Come on, man. You got to join us for this good wrestling talk.
0 dark 30.
Look, he can't even get back on.
While we wait for Cavante, let's read the Lamar. Let's get to Lamar of it all. Let's talk about it. That's why we're all here today. Lamar Jackson requested a trade today. Let's go to the Twitter, as D would say, the Twitter, and go through it here. Lamar Jackson tweeted, so this morning, 10:48 a.m., a letter to my fans. And I quote, I want to first thank you. Hold on. Let's get some music. Let's get some music. Let's set the vibe here. Let's set the vibe. Let's set the vibe because it's this man he decided to wait till his coach had to speak this morning. So Lamar took to Twitter, Raj, and he said, and I quote, "I first want to thank all of you for the love and support you consistently show towards me. All of you are amazing, and I appreciate y'all so much. I want to thank you all, and I want you to know not to believe everything you read, Cravante. Let me personally answer your questions, Dre. I love the Flex Zone. It's the best podcast on the planet. Thank you, Lamar. In regards to my future plans, as of March 2nd, I requested a trade from the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens have not been interested in meeting my value. Any and everyone that's met me or been around me knows I love the game of football, and my dream is to help a team win a Super Bowl. You all are great, but I had to make a business decision that was best for my family and I. No matter how far I go or where my career takes me, I'll continue to be close fans of the Baltimore Flock Nation and the entire state of Maryland. You'll see me again." Then he tweets trust and his fantrust8.com account, whatever that is. This has been the Lamar Jackson tweet, end quote. Cravante, I want to start with you, brother, because you weren't on earlier. We did a live, and Cravante's leaving. But Cravante, when you hear that, because I'm putting you on full screen, how does that make you feel when you read those tweets and you hear that Lamar is requesting a trade? Does it make you want to run away?
He gone.
I think he ran away again.
Oh, okay. Is he just?
He gone.
He ran like Lamar.
Oh, he's giving us this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead, Raj.
I want to finish him
Hey,
so badly. I want to finish Lamar right now. Lamar Action Jackson. I'm just so disgusted, ladies and gentlemen. I've been disgusted this whole day. It's not really a laughing matter. I'm jokey right now, but deep down inside, I know where this is going to lead to if he does leave. And I've been saying this since last year, since the start of training camp. If he does not come back next year or the year after that, this team will be in a full rebuild. Now, granted, we have a good defense. We have some good running backs, nice tight end, decent offensive line. It doesn't really matter because we know that the prominent position in all of football is the quarterback position. And growing up in the 2000s, after the Super Bowl, after we won the great Super Bowl in 2001, and after we got rid of Trent Dilfer, it was a real struggle for those, 7 to 8 years until we got Joe Flacco. It was a complete and utter disgusting struggle watching the Baltimore Ravens offense. It was a struggle watching the Super Bowl, that Super Bowl when they won. Their offense was terrible then. But even after that, they were complete garbage. But we got stability once Joe Flacco came in 2008. And I've been spoiled ever since then, honestly. Now, granted, we had a couple years in between after Ray Lewis and Ed Reed left. Yeah, it wasn't all peaches and cream, but we had stability at the quarterback position. We were great. We were good to go. We were Gucci, baby. We were great. And then once Joe became a little bit older and he wasn't doing the same things he was able to do while he was younger, we took a chance and we got Lamar Action Jackson in the building, and he kept the train moving. He saved Harbaugh's job. He saved EDC's job. He saved everybody's job. He uplifted the city of Baltimore, and he made it very prominent to be a Ravens fan. He gave us hope that we could actually win a championship again. And it's just at this moment in time right now, him requesting a trade because he's not getting his way. It really sucks. It really does suck. And this is me coming from the heart. I was really angry earlier. Forgive me. I probably said some things I probably shouldn't have said. But that's how I really feel at this time. It just is what it is as a fan of this team. I know this team could win. The problem is I know this team could win a Super Bowl if they actually had a couple more pieces. And right now, the organization is being goofy. He's being goofy as well because he's just seeing dollar signs. And my biggest problem is he was on the shot maybe 2 years ago with LeBron James and a couple other celebrities. And he told LeBron James straight to his face, "I want to be a billionaire." I want to be like Tom Brady. I want to be like you. And to be honest with you, he has not made that transition of doing any of that. He has not. He doesn't have representation. He's not putting his best foot forward as far as, you know, endorsements is concerned. The endorsements that he was, you know, offered, he turned them all down. And that's just not a good way to do business. So now you want to stronghold the Ravens because you want the, you know, the biggest contract ever when you could have been getting a lot of money off the field and you chose not to do that. That's what frustrates me. If anything else, that's what frustrates me as a fan, because it's like you want to make up for that for this contract when you could have been getting all this money the last 3 to 4 years and you did none of that. So it is what it is, man. I hope they work it out. I hope that the Ravens find a way to keep him or just don't trade him at all. You know, call his bluff. I hope that's what happens. But as far as right now, man, it's a very bad look on both ends. Definitely a bad look on the Ravens. Definitely a bad look on Lamar Jackson. And I don't know where it goes from here. I really don't, because I've never seen no situation like this here in Baltimore. Usually everything is, you know, one thing. You know, we're pretty much boring off-season team. You know what I'm saying? We pretty much get free agents at the end of free agency most of the time, and we pretty much just go from there. But this has been like the most chaotic, the most eyeballing, the most, you know, talked about situation I've ever seen in Baltimore history. This will go down in history. So I don't know what the Ravens are going to do, but their next move will probably be their coup de grace. Either they trade him or they find a way to keep him. And if I'm them, you got to think about what you got to do from here, because you could lose a lot of people. You could lose a ton of people, and you could lose this franchise for a very long time as well. So I would definitely tread lightly if I was EDC, and Steve Bisciotti. I would tread lightly because that money could be effed up for a very long time.
I want to get your opinion because Lamar's been a free agent for almost a month. This was on March 2nd, the same day as Raj mentioned earlier. The Bateman tweet came out, and nobody's been calling Lamar. So if a team can't sign him for 2 1s and what he's asking for, what makes you think that a team is going to trade multiple assets? Like Ralph said, the Ravens would get more than
Exactly.
2 1s, and he pretty much said it's a short list of teams. The Jets said they're out. The Colts said they're thinking about it, but they were potentially here this weekend. But you would think that somebody would at least contact or hear that an offer sheet was given, right?
Yeah, I mean, you would think so. An MVP type of quarterback, a quarterback that has led his organization to the playoffs majority of times, even though he has one playoff win. A lot of people keep hanking on the fact that he's 1-3 in the playoffs, but at the same time, at least the Ravens are going to the playoffs, and he does have a playoff win on his resume, and he has something that a lot of people don't have. Like, I know we talk about Josh Allen as, for example, but Josh Allen doesn't have an MVP to his name. So Lamar Jackson has a point in his standstill about getting the money that he rightfully does deserve overall. But again, we don't know what Lamar Jackson actually wants. Does he want a fully guaranteed contract? Does he want to be paid? Does he want to be the highest paid quarterback? Really, for only maybe a year, because soon we got a lot of other quarterbacks that we've named countless times on this show, such as Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts. And if I'm the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm making them negotiations right now with Jalen Hurts, because there's no better time than to sign your quarterback to an extension. You don't want to have what happened right now. We've seen it with Kirk Cousins. We've seen it with Dak Prescott. And now we're seeing it with Lamar Jackson, but we've never seen it with an MVP caliber quarterback. And now we're seeing something that's unprecedented. But then also at the same time, we're seeing something unprecedented with Lamar Jackson, because we're seeing a superstar without an agent who's representing himself for his first contract And we don't know what's going on with the negotiations. We don't know if it is about the guaranteed money. Are the Ravens lowballing him, or is it that he just wants a fully guaranteed contract, and that's where the rift is coming in? We're not totally sure what's going on right now until Lamar said something emphatically about what he wants. And we're going to continue to play this guessing game. Again, the agent, that's been a focal point right now with everybody saying that some people understand he should have an agent, that he shouldn't, that he is good that he's representing himself. He's taking out the middleman. But apparently it seems that the more and more that these negotiations go on, it seems to favor the Ravens as opposed to Lamar Jackson. And it's not because the contract hasn't been signed. It's just because of his rift on social media and this generation of athletes about what they do when it comes to these negotiations, and because they will get personal. It's not just business. It should be about business, but eventually it does get personal. You do see that these athletes now, they'll come out, they'll scrub their social media, they'll put out things, and then next thing you know, everything's fine. We've seen this with Kyler Murray. When Kyler Murray had issues with the Cardinals, and then like Ralph said, once that paper came along, we haven't had no issues out of Kyler Murray except his play on the field as of late. So there has to be some type of agreement, and hopefully he does stay here in Baltimore, because I don't, like Rod said, I don't think he really wants to leave Baltimore. I think he really wants to stay here and be a Raven. And I think that the Ravens organization, I think they want Lamar Jackson to stay as well. It's just a matter of, can they get to the negotiating table and really make this thing work long term for both sides. But also the Ravens have to do their part too. We've always said countless times about the things that they need to do on offense, not just defensively, as the league does transition from the days of having a running back and a good defense to now the quarterback position and the weapons surrounding him. So now we need to make sure that once Lamar is signed, hopefully sooner than later, that we can get somebody better than just Nelson Aguilar. But we need other receivers out there to help get that offensive line going. And we'll see, because the Ravens without Lamar Jackson are not a playoff team, but with Lamar Jackson are a Super Bowl caliber team. And Lamar Jackson does deserve his money. It's just a matter of what him and the Baltimore Ravens can negotiate.
Quante?
The Ravens don't like nice things, and that's one of the conclusions I've come to. Now, both parties are at fault, but let me tell y'all something. I've said it once, I said it twice, I said it 10,000 times. When you don't have your guy at quarterback, you spend your entire time looking for him. And when you get him, because they do not grow on trees, and when you get him, you are supposed to lock him up for the long term, because there's 2/3 plus of the NFL teams that do not have a quarterback that could get them in contention. Lamar Jackson is one of those guys, bottom line. Now, unfortunately, Lamar hasn't handled this situation the best. Like we were saying, he's really young, not in age, but in NFL professional football terms, he's a baby at this. This is his first time with the contract negotiations, and he is not handling it well. I wish somebody in his camp or on his advisory team or whatever he has would have told him, like, hey, I'm not sure if this is the right direction to go in, but he overplayed his hand. I think that's what it is. Lamar Jackson overplayed his hand, and unfortunately, in these situations, it's very rarely that the organization doesn't have leverage. Like there's not many situations where the player has leverage over the team. Because I mean, hey, Tom Brady left, and Rodgers is about to leave. Like that's just the nature of the beast. And Lamar Jackson, I mean, he is the epitome, I believe, in what the Ravens are about and what the Ravens stand for. But they are not seeing eye to eye on this money, and y'all already know. Money talks. money talks the loudest. And that's in all facets of entertainment, all facets of our lives. money talks, and it's real quiet in Baltimore right now. So, Lamar Jackson's feelings are hurt now, and it's clear because it's on social media. It's written all over his social media. It's written all over his face, and the words that he's using, he's hurt, and this is personal, and this is the part of him not having an agent that hurts him. He gets to take all of this face first, and him still being a baby in this industry, he's not doing well at it.
Lamar the agent is not Lamar the player, ladies and gentlemen. But we'll see how it plays out. The Ravens still do have the leverage. Dre, I know you mentioned it. They don't have to trade him. They have until July to get a long-term deal. If not, he has to sign that tender because I don't see Lamar sitting out and getting those egregious fines and doing a Le'Veon Bell. I just don't see it. And he said, I think a report came out a few weeks ago that he was going to play under the tag if he had to. And then earlier, Rod, you said he just recently negotiated with the Ravens last week and didn't like what he was offered. So he left that negotiation, right?
Damn, I want to know what those numbers were. Damn.
Yeah, he was negotiating last week with the Ravens. And I'm not sure what the time period was, but he definitely was in the building with Eric DaCosta. And he just, I guess he didn't like what he heard. And he decided to pull this move today. And we'll see what happens next. It's like a soap opera. Like I said before, it's the bold and the beautiful, the young and the restless. And right now, we just seeing what the next act is. Hopefully, it's not the coup de grace. Like I said, hopefully they keep drawing this out until they can figure out a way to at least give him maybe not what he wants, but close to what he wants. Hopefully,
I think he wants more than Deshaun Watson. That's what it comes. That has to be the only thing that's holding it back.
It's either that or the guaranteed money because we're saying,
I think he wants to.
Really want.
Yeah, he wants 231. He could be 250. I guess he wants 231 guaranteed. I guess.
I don't know what he wants. I honestly don't know.
He could have told us today, Raj. He could have told us today in a tweet.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I really wish he would have told us in the tweet what he exactly is seeking. Is it that you just want, more guaranteed money than Deshaun Watson? Are you willing to take a little less, but your contract is going to be more? And Adam Schefter keeps saying that the Ravens have offered him at least $200 million guaranteed, and he has not refuted those claims, except that he's clapped back at a lot of people, but he has not refuted what Adam Schefter has said, who is right now the best in the business when it comes to NFL news. So
that's why I get so.
I hope he didn't turn out 200. I hope he didn't. God damn, I hope he did.
That and our other boy, Raj and Byron, from the fan.
Rappaport.
Jason. Jason
Rappaport. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was just saying. I hope that. I just get frustrated when I hear Stephen A. Smith say, "Well, they only offered him $133 million." I don't think that's the number. Especially when Adam Schefter said the number was 175 with the injury, and the fully guaranteed was the $200 million. If he stayed 3 years, of course. I don't understand. That was only the first. Matter of fact, that was only the first contract. That was the actual first contract.
And Raj, your boy EDC by now and probably offered this man everything, long term, short term. What else can you do?
At this point, put our boy in there, Ozzy.
I don't even think Ozzy can save him at this point. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I think Jesus himself might have to come down and ask what Lamar wants, because only he probably knows at this point. Him and the organization, but it's just a weird place to be in as a fan, to just witness this here. I've never seen this here. Like Washington, no offense, Karate, maybe there. The Jets, definitely. We've
never been through this. We've never had this caliber of a quarterback.
No, I'm just saying I could see it because Dan Snyder's there. That's what I'm saying. Dan Snyder is goofy as hell. That's what I mean. Like teams that have goofy owners, like Woody Johnson, Daniel Snyder, guys like that. I can see this happening to those type of guys. I couldn't see this happening.
I think RG3. He said Sheets. I think RG3 because that was Dan Snyder's boy. Dan Snyder would have paid RG3. Just saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he would have.
He would have. He definitely would have paid him.
But Raj, I mean, the thing is, we've never seen it here, but also the Ravens have never seen anything like this either. This is unprecedented for both sides. The Ravens have never had a quarterback to his caliber, and the time that they did have to pay a quarterback was Joe Flacco, and he ended up winning the Super Bowl, so the Ravens were kind of forced to pay him. Lamar Jackson had something up on Flacco, and that's his resume right now just screams. You kind of you're almost backed into a corner almost of you have to step outside of your own comfort zone, because of course the Ravens, they're a good organization. Everybody knows that they're a defensive led organization first, yes, but at the same time we've never seen the guy like Chicago. They've never had the guy, and now we have the guy at the quarterback position. And it's like, well, the Ravens are coming with the hummus because they don't really know how to. They don't know how to address this. And I mean, and at the same time, I don't kind of fault the Ravens because they're new to this. Lamar is new to this. Both sides are new to this. At the end of the day, both parties want to be together in this relationship. It's just a matter of coming together and making it work the best for both sides, which is negotiations. And I think that what we keep stressing about having an agent is that when you have an agent, you can buffer that so that way both sides are satisfied. But now when players are negotiating their own contracts, you have to hear the good and the bad. And of course, then especially with today's athletes who are more sensitive than now, more so now than ever, you're not going to want to hear the bad. You only want to hear about the good. And Lamar makes a good point about the good he's done for this organization. But at the same time, he hasn't been healthy these past couple of years, and he hasn't been able to finish. So, of course, that the Ravens do make a good point when it comes to being hesitant about it. And like Ralph was saying earlier, maybe he may not get the 200 plus million that he's seeking, but maybe he can at least get in that 200 million ballpark. So that way things can be moving forward. It's just gotten so ugly. But at the same time, if he gets his money, all else is forgiven. It's just a matter of we haven't also heard the Ravens be in the news this much because, like you said, we're a pretty good ran organization. So I think that this is something that's just not something that we're used to when it comes to the Baltimore Ravens now.
You know what? The Ravens do speak next week. They have their Liars Luncheon. I want to, if they don't do nothing with Lamar this week, I want to hear what Steve Bisciotti. I want to hear what Steve Bisciotti has to say. Everything's going to come down to his response on what is it?
We already told you last year, Raj. He's not giving a fully guaranteed contract, but Lamar thinks he's getting it.
And I understand. I made a video about it. I know. I still want to hear what the hell he has to say on Tuesday if he's there. I want to hear it because I heard he wasn't even at the owners meeting today, or he's not even at the owners meeting this week. So I know damn sure he's going to be at the Liars Luncheon next week, and I need to hear what he has to say because he got some explaining to do.
Well, Kavante, I'll give you the last word. Jalen Hurts is about to get paid soon. Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert. These guys won't get fully guaranteed. What will Lamar think then? What will happen in that situation? And last 2 years, Lamar Jackson, 30 touchdowns, 22 interceptions. The last 2 Decembers. And if you go to an owner, he's got to sign that check. He's going to say, what have you done for me lately, right? Kavante, I was waiting for him. Kavante,
I see Mark has some comments.
Mark, you're a Colts fan.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah,
Mark, you want him on the Colts? We can hear you, Kavante. Go ahead.
So I think and this is one of the hard things that I think is going to be hard for Lamar to grasp, is that what happened with Deshaun Watson is not the norm. And the NFL owners are really fighting for it not to be the norm. That's why as soon as the owners meeting, I'm sure they beat up Hazlitt and them because you're the reason why we're in this mess. And Lamar Jackson, when you don't have an agent, you're going into the situation how you feel you should go into the situation, not necessarily what's best. So after Joe Burrow gets paid, after Jalen Hurts gets paid, after Justin Herbert gets paid, maybe he'll catch on or maybe not. Because I'm telling you right now, Burrow, his floor is $50 million a year. His floor is going to be $50 million a year. Jalen Hurts is going to be in that same ballpark, and so is Justin Herbert, depending on who starts it. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's not going to be guaranteed. It's probably going to be $250 million or $300 million contract, you know, with 200 or 250 guaranteed. But nobody's getting a fully guaranteed contract, and I promise you, the Cincinnati Bengals, the LA Chargers, and the Philadelphia Eagles will make sure of that.
Let us know. Vote on the poll your thoughts on the Lamar Jackson contract situation and his request for a trade. We'll have more on it throughout the week. And next Wednesday, April 5th, is the Liars Lunch pre-draft luncheon. Let's get to the Final Four talk. We have three technically first-time teams in the Final Four. First time in 70 years, no number one seeds make the Elite Eight. Florida International against San Diego State, and their defense, as Ralph said.
Just like I predicted.
Miami, their coach, taking his second team to the Final Four, took George Mason back in 2011, and UConn, the prohibitive favorite, currently is in the Final Four. Dre, who you like, and has this been an unpredictable March Madness as we've seen?
Yeah, this has been a March Madness that, unlike any other I've seen. I mean, we don't have any of the, like we sent the blue bloods in there. Of course, I picked UConn at this point to win it all, but I mean, Ralph, he's got me thinking San Diego State. So I mean, at this point, honestly, we just don't know. We had Uncle Raj. He was saying that he thought Alabama. I mean, when the tournament first came out, you heard people talking about Houston. So you just never know, and that's the beauty of March Madness. Any of these teams, honestly, at this point, it's a toss up because we don't know who's going to actually come out there and really win. But at the end of the day, somebody's going to take it. It's not like the women's side where it's a prohibitive favorite. No, the men's side, it could be. We could be picking UConn today, San Diego tomorrow, and Miami the day after. So it all just really varies. But I'm picking UConn right now to win it all. But honestly, that's not even a safe bet right now.
Gravante?
Oh my gosh, this is very, very interesting territory that we're in. So just like the Western Conference this year, the NCAA tournament, NCAA basketball has been completely up in the air. Like every number one seed we saw this year was flawed. And supposedly the best basketball player this year, who was on the number one overall seeds team, had two terrible games. Two. He slipped. He scurried by with that first one because they played a lower seed, 16 seed. Kansas played Howard. I forgot who Alabama played. But they played a 16 seed team. So, he got away with getting a bad game because they're playing a lower tier team. But as the tournament goes on, the competition gets tougher. So your superstars are supposed to play like superstars. And Alabama losing was the epitome of your superstar not playing like a superstar. And I mean, Houston and Alabama, I was watching both of those games. They both lost like 15 minutes apart from one another. Both the number 5 seeds. But Purdue losing in the first round to a 16 seed. Kansas losing in the round of 32. These are the ones that nobody felt like I didn't feel like anybody really dominated college basketball. And honestly, since Coach K, Roy Williams, and all these heavy hitters as coaches, there's been no real dominance in basketball, in college basketball. And I think I like it. Like in a weird way, like I like it. I like seeing different faces because I mean, this is the reason why they're adding so many college football teams to the playoffs now. Because they want to see new blood, new faces, and all that. But it's actually happening in basketball. Like three teams legit have never been in the Final Four. This is crazy. And UConn's experience are from years ago, not even from who's on their team now. So, I mean, I don't know, man. It's just absolutely crazy that none of the blue bloods are in it right now. And UConn is definitely the favorite, but what the hell does that mean?
Go ahead, Rod. You got any particular favorites?
Not really. I mean, I've been kind of off and on with the tournament. Like after Maryland went down, and then after Alabama went down, I was like, so yeah, I got UConn probably winning it all. But honestly, these teams, it was a crapshoot. Like literally my bracket was completely destroyed after the first day. So I mean,
I'm about to say first day.
It was over. It was a wrap. I'm like, damn, they actually beat. I was like, they won. I was like, oh, never mind. So I mean, honestly, UConn probably gonna lose too. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know who's gonna win, but I will be watching the final though. Definitely.
We got the Final Four and WrestleMania at the same time. So what a weekend it will be. A lot to watch, talk about, and discuss. MLB season starts this Thursday. You know, we'll have all your coverage here on the channel. Might go live after the Orioles first game. Keep you guys posted. Might do a post-game show. But Raj, what are you looking forward to this baseball season besides the pizza, if they still do that?
I mean, I just want the Orioles to do well. I'm not really looking forward to much. I'm not the biggest baseball guy. I want to see what the Orioles do. I want to see what the Yankees do. See if giving Aaron Judge all that money, is going to pay off this time. Definitely want to see what the Red Sox do. See what happens with them. But it's going to be interesting though because the Orioles had a really, really good season last year, and I definitely want to see if they're going to follow up and if they're going to improve or they're going to take a couple steps backwards. But I think what Ralph said, over 76 is the number. See if they can get back to 80 wins again. I think they can, but I'm iffy on baseball, but we'll see what happens during the season. I got so a little bit of hope in the Orioles situation. Hopefully they play hard because if they have a terrible season, it's only gonna get worse in the later months. If you know what I mean.
Trey, is this the Yankees year? You say it every year.
I do. And I'm going to continue to believe that it is our year every year. I think
just like it's Duke's year, right?
I'm about to give you a Stone Cold Steve Austin. You keep it up now. It's going to be our year. Yep. And like I said, every year.
You don't believe that.
I think I seriously do believe it. I think that because last year we saw, the new captain, Aaron Judge, had an MVP season. I mean, the way he was balling out, setting an AL record with his home runs. I think that he can continue and further expand upon that. He's motivated. He wants to, he is the captain of the New York Yankees.
He's the captain of the Goofy shit?
He wants to. No, that's you. He wants to lead this team. Sorry. He wants to lead this team to the World Series, and I think that the Yankees will will make a huge run. We were so close last year. We ran into the buzzsaw of the cheating Astros, but I think that we have a shot to do it again. I mean, I know people sleep on the Yankees, and somewhere I would rather us start slow and then propel, as opposed to what we did last year. We start out real hot and then we dwindle down. No, we got to make the opposite. And I'd rather us peak later in the year as opposed to early on. So right now, I think that my Yankees have a great chance, and of course, we're all going to hope for that World Series, of course, for the Dodgers and the Yankees. Hopefully, we do see it this year.
Yankees are dealing with some injuries, Trey, so we'll keep our eye on that. Cavante,
by the way, you just reminded me to get my Yankee hat, because the Yankees do play the Orioles for opening day.
Cavante, are the Nationals going to have the worst record in the league?
Close to it. Probably close to it.
They're the new Orioles.
Unfortunately. I'm thinking I meant to ask Ralph what was there over under totals, because my gosh, whatever it is, I'm strongly considering taking the under. It's just not much to look forward to. No heavy hitters, no big names, but I mean they could surprise me, but I'm not big into anything right now. I'd much rather talk trash to Dre about how bad his Yankees are going to do.
We're going to do just fine, damn it. Don't you worry about Yankee Nation over here. We're going to do just fine. We're going to make the playoffs, and we're going to make a World Series push again. 27 and counting. This year it's going to be 28 and counting. Watch.
Keep hope alive.
Nope.
I'm trying to get that
hope
over.
To go to sleep.
See if I can get that. Want to get that over under for you.
If it's like, let me see.
Yeah, if you get
70, somewhere around there.
Yeah. We shall see.
Look, at least y'all got a World Series out the deal. So,
hey, listen, brother, I'm holding on to it, brother.
Okay, here we go. Just real quick, as we are running through some of these topics we have, I'll run through Yankees 94.5, Toronto 90.5, Orioles 76.5, as Ralph said. Let's see, Houston, defending champions, 97.5. Mets 94.5. We have the Dodgers 96.5. Padres 93.5. Washington Nationals 59.5. Cavante. So basically 60.
I really was pushing for 65. If it was 65, I'd go under, but
it might go over that.
I'd still consider
it. Yeah. Let us know your thoughts on the baseball, new pitch clock. Game should be faster. Pace of play should be better. So it should be some entertaining games, more steals, and things of that nature. Fellas, it's WrestleMania season. I know we'll be here this weekend. Dre, I'll start with you, brother. What are you looking forward to this weekend? It's WrestleMania.
Of course, I'm looking forward to seeing the Tribal Chief. But I'm also looking forward to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn facing the Usos. Dominic Mysterio and his father, Rey Mysterio, fighting. I'm looking forward to that match. Rhea Ripley and Charlotte. I'm actually looking forward to Bianca and Asuka. Even though I got Bianca winning, I think that this is going to be another Shinsuke type of turn when it happens. You can you're seeing the tease of it. So I'm just waiting for her. I know she's going to spit that mist right in Bianca's face after Bianca wins. So I'm curious about that. Outside of that, I can't really think of any other. And of course the triple threat match between the Sheamus, Gunther, and Drew. I think that's going to be probably the heaviest match out there. These brothers are going to tear the house down. I'm curious. I think that Sunday they'll probably start with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Usos and end with the Tribal Chief and Cody Rhodes. I think that
it's going main event Saturday, Dre. Going main event Saturday. Cena's kicking off night one against Austin Theory. Then you're going to have the Usos and KO and Sami Zayn. I think they might kick off night two. Don't forget we got a Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah.
Kick it off with that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that could be. You're right. That could be the start. Um, see, Saturday. I'm thinking that either Rhea Ripley and Charlotte close out, or depending on if this is really it for Ray, him and Dominic could close out. I mean, I'm really curious about who's gonna close out night one and who's gonna start night two. Cena starting night one tells me that Theory is gonna win. Well, instantly. That's what it tells me. And Cena's just taking the payday. So that's a match. I mean, I'm not really looking too forward to that match. I mean, I think we already know that Theory is going to be put over, and then also I haven't seen too much out of John Cena since he came back for that challenge. The one person though I do feel bad for in all this though at WrestleMania weekend is Bobby Lashley, because with the Bray Wyatt sickness that's going on, and prayers up to him and his family that he can come back. But it just would have been cool to see Lesnar and Bobby one more time, at WrestleMania, as opposed to almost, though he is getting an opportunity against Brock. As our guy from What Culture says, is men slapping man meat around. So there's going to be some. It's going to be some. Going to be some hard hitting that we going to see. Like I said, especially in that triple threat match, but. That's the one person I do feel sorry for, because he's not getting an opportunity that is very much well deserved. I mean, you're seeing Bobby go from being the WWE champion to now he's in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, which is very unfortunate for somebody of Bobby's caliber, because Bobby's only going up and up and up as he's progressing in his wrestling career. I'm still hoping that the Tribal Chief doesn't lose, but we'll see what happens.
Go ahead, Ron.
I'm not looking forward to much. I'm looking forward to Roman and
Cody.
I'm looking forward to Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre. I'm looking forward to Dominic and Rey Mysterio. And after that, it is what it is. But
not Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and the Usos?
I mean, yeah, I already know who's going to win. So
it's lost some steam, lost a little bit of steam.
I mean, I be honest with you, I wish they would have waited till the last week to hug it out and got together, but that's neither here nor there. The storyline has been great. The pop that they had was great as well, but I mean, you already see the writing on the wall for the Usos. But I mean, it's going to be a good match. But everything else besides those matches, I honestly really don't. I'm not gonna say I don't really
showcase matches.
Say that again.
The WrestleMania showcase matches, the tag team matches.
No, Lord, I forgot about that.
No, I don't care for those.
Yes, Fatal 4-Way tag team matches.
No, I
don't Logan Paul, Seth Rollins.
That might be a good match.
It's gonna be on night one. It's gonna be a night one, as well as Cena opens up night one, as I mentioned, and I think Usos and KO in night one. I think Rhea and Charlotte is probably the co-main event. Goes on before the main event. That's my.
I don't care for that. But But yeah, other than that, it's gonna be a good night for me, because I'm gonna be in my favorite place, and night two, I'm gonna be in my other favorite place. So I'm gonna be feeling really good. So I will be.
Will you be slapping meat?
Finish him, Daddy.
Yes, I
Finish
definitely
him,
will.
Daddy.
Yeah.
There you go. You'll be slapping meat.
There you go. And eating meat, but that's neither.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a fun weekend. It's gonna be
a busy weekend.
It is indeed. It is.
Yes. Let us know your WrestleMania thoughts. I'll have some previews and predictions coming later this week. Just stay tuned to the channel. We'll get it all out to you guys, because I don't think Roman's losing either, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully he does it. Kravante, you ready to get goofy before we get out of here, brother?
Yeah, man. I've been having some technical difficulties all night, so my camera is has been real flaky. But luckily the audio has been consistent. Let's see. Hold on.
Let's get ready for Kravante.
There we go.
Of the week.
Oh, all right. We back. Perfect. So there's been a lot of goofy things going on inside of sports and outside of sports. So I actually have one for both. And guess what? They are both high level goofiness. Just the highest level. You gotta do a 1-on-1, but the height of both of them is extremely goofy. But let's jump into it. Welcome, good people, to Goofies of the Week, sponsored by the Flex Zone. Appreciate you guys for giving me a little bit of time to let me tell the good people what I thought was goofy this week. So I deal with 2 levels.
You're muted, good brother.
I think Goofy's trying to mute Cravante.
So when that happens, I can't talk. It automatically mutes me. So I just heard it. I don't know when y'all heard it, but I just heard it, and it mutes me. But low level goofiness. So this low level, the color is synonymous with the Packers and the Jets, and it's so fitting that it's green because both of their team colors are green, and they are at a almost a stalemate, maybe, with this whole Aaron Rodgers thing. Very goofy, but they represent the low level goofy. But the next level is the high level goofy. It's no longer funny at this point. The green level is hee ha ha funny. We talk about it, we joke about it, we move on. The days and the weeks and the months following just move on, and things continue moving. But that high level goofy, time kind of stops for a minute. We got to figure things out. We got to congregate. We got to come together and figure out what's going on, because this is not a good look for either people, sports, or depending on whatever goofy it is for that week. It's not good for society for things to be the way that they are. So okay, let's jump right into it. I don't even know which one to start with. I guess I'm gonna start with the non. No, I'm gonna start with the sports one first, because the last one I think is gonna shake some things up. So I'm gonna save that one for last. But the high level goofy one is Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. It's been going on entirely too long, and I've never seen. I can't say I've never seen, but it's been a while since I've seen two sides just be so far away. I don't even think they're trying anymore on the negotiation side of things. Now, both sides are at fault. Just like how pretty much we've been saying all show. Lamar Jackson, in my opinion, overplayed his hand. Unfortunately, the Ravens have witnessed this before with Joe Flacco, except they got a Super Bowl out of it. This time, Lamar Jackson, superstar talent, unanimous MVP, wins 75% of the games when the ones he actually plays in, and when he plays, the Ravens win. He's a winner. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's a winner. But not getting this deal done before this previous year has gone against them, because this is a year, back-to-back years where he hasn't finished the season, and seeking a fully guaranteed contract is very goofy on his part, and I feel like he doesn't have proper counsel to get him through this, to get him through these negotiations and the business part of playing football. On the Ravens side, the Ravens should have. It's always a great idea to pay your quarterbacks before you need to, when you believe in them. If that's your guy, your franchise quarterback, your franchise player, and you want him for the foreseeable future, you lock him down the soonest you can, because that will be the cheapest they will ever be. But instead of doing that, they waited till his contract completely ran out. Now they have to negotiate. And when you're forced to negotiate, things don't work out how either side wants them to. That's why you negotiate before the contract runs out. So worst case scenario, all right, we at least the talks have begun and progress can be made. But no, Baltimore, the Baltimore Ravens, and Lamar Jackson and Lamar Jackson's camp. I don't know who's representing him. I think Byron. I think the NFLPA assigned somebody to him. I don't know what's going on with that.
It's actually one of his friends from South Florida, Ken Francis, who he partnered with the home gym with.
Never mind. No, never mind. Forget what I said. See, that's the thing. They have to be certified from the NFLPA. You can't just have anybody out here represent you. And speaking on your behalf to other teams, because that's that's frowned upon. And I think it's I don't know how with the rumors, we've all heard the rumors, but we don't know what validity they hold. But apparently homeboys out here calling people and trying to negotiate on Lamar's behalf. And so much so that the NFL had to put out a statement saying, hey, if you get a call from this guy, yeah. So Lamar's, man, I just wish he had better representation, then we wouldn't be in the situation. Now, granted, I understand. I believe it's 3% in the NFL, 3 or 4%, something like that. And if you don't have to pay it to anybody, I understand, not to do it. But when you don't know and you're going into your first situation and you don't know how this game really works, you can get you'll end up getting the short end of the stick. And we don't want that for Lamar Jackson, one of the rare, young superstar black quarterbacks we have in the NFL, and the face, or what I thought was the face of the Baltimore Ravens. So these talks have been going on for the better part of 2 years, and it's going nowhere fast. And now it's to the point where the relationship has been fractured severely. And it's really unfortunate, because in a Ravens uniform, it seems like it fits, and it's going to be weird to see him in any other uniform moving forward. But oh boy, what is this?
That is the home gym he's partnering with. It's a suitcase. The entire gym. That's what it is. It's a suitcase. It rolls out. Then it does things. You can do that. Then you can throw far because you got that. Maybe throw a deep ball. Get an attractive woman to do it. There you go. That's who's partnering with. That's who's representing him. That's who's representing him.
Oh, so it's a white woman?
No, it's a guy. A guy.
Because we'd have killed him for that. Boy, Lamar, if you don't get out of here. We'd have killed.
Let me stop messing with him.
We'd have killed him for that. But okay, so I leave the football stuff alone. But this second one, Raj, I know how Raj likes how I do my non-sport stuff, my non-sport goofies, and this one is actually a very popular brother who's been in the movies lately.
Oh Lord,
he was recently. He's been in the box office a couple times for a Marvel movie, and he's been in for a very popular boxing movie. I mean, he's had a couple good weekends, and the box office is concerned. And all of a sudden, reports come out saying that he is a abuser. My gosh, it looks like he was. What was his name in Creed?
His name was Dane. That's what his name was.
Dane. And we ain't talking dollars. Dane. He apparently out here playing Dane, or allegedly, rumors, because nothing's proven, but things are coming out, saying that he's Dame in real life, and this is not good. Now, tell you guys how I felt. Initially, I thought, okay, here we go. Soon as when a black man gets up and up and up and up and up and up and up, a story or something comes out to try to bring, black man down. That's usually how it goes. But people coming out and saying certain things, and word is going around that he has a history of things like this, and it's so weird to me because like I feel like it'd have been if it had been out, I feel like it'd have been hard for him to get work, and he's been getting a lot of work over the years, and he kind of popped a little later on, but when he popped. So it's tough to hear, especially with a man. It seems like he's at his highest. He's at his absolute highest. But as we all know, when you're at your highest, that's when folks, rumors, and all and all the above try to bring you down. I hope that this is not true. I really, really, really do. Just because it is a black man, and a black man that's thriving and doing well for himself, and portraying different roles in being a black man. Like he was a cowboy. You know what I'm saying? He was a cowboy in a movie. He's been a boxer. He was in the Air Force in another movie. Like he's played some really heavy hitting roles, and he's been playing the hell out of all of them. I was introduced to him from Lovecraft Country. The black, sci-fi, that a lot going on in that one. Played the hell out of that role, man. Everything I've seen him in, he's been playing the hell out of his role. And I hate to see when we come back to reality and we come back to real life that this is what's going on. Either way, it hurts. It's going to hurt. It hurts because of what's going on now. If it's a rumor and it's fake, it hurts because you can't wash this image away. We've all seen guys that defended their name and their honor, whether it be in a court system or what have you, but public opinion always reigns supreme, and it absolutely sucks. And on the flip side, if this is true, this hurts even more because now we probably won't. He will obviously need some help with the situation because the angry black man, the angry black woman, those are tags that's hard to get rid of, and it would suck to see a talent like that go to waste because of how he chooses to live his life in reality. So one way or another, this is going to hurt. Again, on the lesser end, I hope it's not true. Let it hurt now and him be able to clear his name. But my heavens, if it is, this absolutely, absolutely sucks. So just to recap, my high-level goofies of the week is I can't because it's all alleged. I'm just gonna say the Jonathan Majors situation, and coupled with Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Y'all know my line. There's a thin line between goofy and great, and unfortunately, these two brothers and this one great organization are on the wrong end of it. Got to do better, guys. Got to do better.
Of course. Something wrong here.
That gets me every time.
Thank you for that, Cravante, that goofy of the week. That is all we have, right, fellas, for today?
Yeah.
Episode 387 in the books as we inch closer and closer to 400 episodes. Jersey Dre, how can they start their day with a cup of Dre on WEAA? And what can they look forward to episode 388?
Catch me Monday through Friday, 10 p.m. we concluded our sports and women's series. So shout out to all the women that we've had. Today we've had Miss Jones on from Sporty Dog. I mean, Mikkel, Lena J, Erica. So the countless women that we've had throughout the month. Hats off to them. And we're only going to continue to move forward with this show. Next month we've got our draft. The NFL draft is inching closer and closer. So we've got disqualified opinions coming on. We've got Gabe Ortiz and Darius coming on. We've got Ralph coming back. So we've got a lot of great guests coming on the next month. So make sure y'all stay tuned right here Mondays. And this is the best podcast right now going on. We give you sports how you want it when you need it.
Big Raj, we're here every day this week. A lot going on the channel.
Yeah, a lot going on the channel. Dre said most of it. Just stay tuned. Look out for videos. A lot of stuff coming. Also, we still got to do our NFL draft preview, so look out for that as well. A lot of stuff coming Wrestlemania week, and we'll be here pretty much every day, I think. Yeah. So.
Yes. Tomorrow we got more Orioles previews coming. We got probably a Ravens video coming in between there as well. We'll be live on Thursday. Probably do an Orioles post-game show for their first game. They play the Boston Red Sox. Friday, we got Ring of Honor and SmackDown will be live for both, as they are at the same time, basically. Saturday, night 1 and Sunday, night 2 of WrestleMania. I know Raj will be in here. Dre might pop in as well. Had a whole Flex Zone crew. Only place, fellas, giving you sports how you want it.
When you need it.
Big shout out to LaShauna. Big shout out to Ralph, as Dre mentioned. Big shouts out to all the ladies who joined us for Women's History Month and our Sports and Blackness series. Ralph will be back next month. We got draft previews and draft profiles coming up. Got Disqualified Opinions joining us. And episode 388, we're back here live next Monday to recap it all, as we will have live as the national championship game will be going on, and we'll have a women's national champion as well. Talk about Mania, see what happens with the Ravens as they get ready for their pre-draft luncheon. But Raj, our social media producer, executive producer Andre Mel, senior producer, captain of the Goofy Ship, Devontae Herrick, God's favorite host, social producer. Signing off. Thank you guys for all the love, comments, like, share, subscribe. Hit the like button, vote on the poll on your way out. You can still super chat us. Let us know your thoughts. And we'll see you back here tomorrow on Only Place Giving You Sports How You Want It When You Need It. Flex Zone Podcast. Good night, everybody.
Peace. Be the ones, always.